Formula 1 was back this weekend, a brand new race at a brand new circuit, and the entire paddock was in a mood. Under the warm sun, the weekend got off. The drivers had to spend a bit of time getting used to the newly built track. There were multiple cars spinning off, but no major incidents so far. Free practice 1. The only red flag came when Valtteri Bottas spun his car and he went into the wall at turn 7. Charles Leclerc got off to a great start this weekend. He managed to tame the tough chicanes and even had a few sketchy moments as well. He now looks to extend his lead versus Max Verstappen this weekend. His teammate Carlos Sainz suffered a spin which led to a puncture, but the car and the driver were otherwise unharmed. This meant that Carlos Sainz finished the session in P6. The Mercedes cars of George Russell looked particularly quick as George Russell set the second fastest time of the session. The Mercedes cars, also a bit slower in the straight, were not porpoising as much as the previous race. I'm pretty sure that's a happy sight for all Mercedes fans out there. Red Bull's Max Verstappen had set the fastest time, but then he touched his wall during a hot lap and he was forced to wait in the pits for repairs. He came back and managed to get the third fastest time of the session. However, he had the second lowest number of laps completed, only 14, for Valtteri Bottas, who was on 13. So that was the end of free practice 1. Now we go on to free practice 2. As the session got underway, all of the drivers started out with the medium compound tyre. For this session, we saw the Alfa Romeo Valtteri Bottas remain in the garage as they continued repairs after his crash in the first session. Another driver in doubt of taking part in the session was Max Verstappen, as his team decided to change his gearbox to avoid any other failure. Carlos Sainz continued his run of unfortunate luck. This time he managed to get his car into the beginning of the wall at the start of the session, and this got out the red flag and the Ferrari had to go back to the garage. Once the track was clear and the session resumed, we saw Max Verstappen's brakes catch fire spectacularly. He was forced to limp his car home and his team worked frantically on it. George Russell continued to impress the fans with yet another dominant display. The upgraded Mercedes cars looked more controlled as the driver set the fastest time. His teammate Lewis Hamilton managed to get 4th fastest overall. Lando Norris got P6 and Pierre Gasly got P7. So with the front 3 cars being Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull, it'll be exciting to see how that pace translates into qualifying on Saturday. So stay tuned to Motorsports for more motorsport updates.